Hi everyone, this is Lakshman. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In the today's session, we are going to learn most frequently asked core Java entry questions and answers for freshers as well as experienced Java professionals. These Java entry questions are very helpful before attending any technical interviews for Java professionals as well as automation testing engineers as well. Okay, so the first question is what is the instance variable and a local variable? Or they may ask like what is the difference between instance variable and a local variable? So instance variables are nothing but what are the variables are declared inside the class. Those variables are nothing but instance variable. Okay, so these, for example, you can look at this example. There is a car class is there. In the car class, there are some attributes are there. Okay, so there are some, these are the instance variables. Then what are the local variables? Local variables are declared within a block or function or constructor and can be accessed only inside them only. Okay, you can see example here. So this is the method. In this method, if you declare the variables, these variables can access only within this block only. You cannot access these variables outside the function or outside the block. Okay, the next question is what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is one of the object-oriented programming concept. Okay, so the main purpose of encapsulation is data hiding. Okay, or you can say it can protect the data. Okay, then how it can protect the data? So it can protect the data using private keyword. For every variable, we are declaring with the keyword private keyword. If you declare any variable with the private keyword, then those variables are protected by another persons. So the encapsulation exact meaning is it combining the both variables and methods in a single unit. Okay, and it also hide the data by using private keyword. Before variable, if you declare private keyword, then those variables are not accessed by another person. Okay, the next question is what are the various access specifiers in Java? Access specifiers are the keywords. Okay, access specifiers are the keywords in Java. So then where we are declaring these access specifiers? Before class or method or field. Field nothing but variables or methods. Okay, so there are 4 types of access specifiers are there in Java: public, protected, default, and private. Then where we used public access specifier? Public is used before the class, before the method, and before the variable. So if you declared any class or method or any field with public keyword, then it can be accessible from anywhere. Okay, suppose if you declared with the keyword protected before method or field, it can be accessed from same class, okay, or from the subclass and from the class of same package, but not from outside. Okay, suppose if you declare default before method or class or field, it can be accessed only from the same package only and not from outside. Okay, then what about private access specifier? So if you declared any method or variable, then it can be accessed from the same class to which they are belong to. Okay, then the next question is what is the use of static keyword in Java? When there is a requirement to share a method or variable between multiple objects of a class, instead of creating separate copies for each object, then we use static keyword to make a method or variable shared for all the objects. Okay. The next question is what is final keyword? What do you know about final keyword? Can you give some examples? So the interview panel may ask this type of questions for freshers. Okay. In Java, final keyword used in various places. You can use it final variable or final method or final class. Okay. So if you are using final keyword before variable, then that variable must be constant. That means once you assign the value, it cannot be changed. For example, look at this example, final int I equal to 100. So you assign the value, I value 100 here, and you declared final. That means you cannot change the assigned value in future. We will take another use of final. If you declared any method with the final keyword, then that method cannot be overridden by the subclass. Okay, you can just look at this example. Here is a class, employee class is there. In the employee class, I have used one method, that is salary method, and that method is declared with the final access, with the final keyword. Okay, so whenever I try to access this method in the subclass, it will give compile time error. So it cannot be overridden because salary method declared as final. So that's meaning is you cannot override once you declare a method with the final keyword. Okay. The next usage of final keyword is if you declare any class with final, cannot be subclass. Okay. So there are some examples are there like string, integer, and other wrapper class. All wrapper classes are by default final only. Okay. So you cannot inherit it. You cannot subclasses. Okay. The next question is, what is the difference between final method and abstract method? Sometimes interview panel may ask this tricky question as well to confuse you. Okay, so if you are very perfect, if you know subject, then any candidate will not confuse. Okay, so then what is final method? If a method declared with final keyword, it cannot be overridden anymore, just like a final class cannot be inherited anymore. Whereas abstract method is a empty method that must be overridden by the inherited class. Okay, so in the abstract method there is no definition, there is no defined method. You have to override it in the subclass. So without overriding, you will quickly get a compilation error. That is the main difference between final method and abstract method. Okay, I hope you got it. The next question is, what is the difference between abstract class and interface? So for this question, I have already uploaded a video in our YouTube channel. If you didn't watch it, just go through it in our playlist. You can watch it. Okay. The next question is, can we declare the main method of our class as private? You got it or not? Can we declare a main method class as private? The answer is, in Java, main method must be public. You cannot declare private. Okay. So main method must be public static in order to run any application correctly. If main method declared as private, developer will not get any compilation error. However, it will not get executed and it will give a runtime error. It won't give any compilation error. It will give a runtime error. Okay, if you declared main method class private. Got it? The next question is, what is the difference between final, finally, and finalize? This is one of the most frequently asked entry question below 3 years of experience Java professionals or as well as automation testing engineers as well. So I have already discussed what is a final keyword. You can use a final keyword before variable, before class, and before method. Okay. So once you declared any variable with final keyword, that means it is fixed. You cannot change the value. Suppose if you try to change the value already assigned final variable, then it will give compile time error. Okay, then what about the finally? So finally, where we use it finally means in the exception handling concept along with the try catch block. It is the block present in the program where all the codes written inside it and get executed irrespective of handling exception. Whether the exception handling or not, no matter. But this block, this final block execute irrespective of exception caught or not, exception handling or not. Okay, this must be executed. Final block. Okay, then what about finalize method? So finalize method used to collect the object of garbage values, garbage collection of an object. Okay, the main purpose is to clean the activity which is implemented and wastage of whatever the wastage of objects are there. If you want to clean those objects to free up the memory space, then we should use finalize method by using garbage collection. Okay, the next question is, what is the difference between method overloading and overriding? This is also one of the most frequent user entry questions in the off-campus interviews, so campus interviews, as well as freshers. At the same time, even experienced candidates also you can face this question. Okay, so overloading happens at compile time, while overriding happens at runtime. Or we can also call this one compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Okay, so the most basic difference is that overloading is being done in the same class, while for overriding is done base and child classes. Okay, this example, then you can understand what is overloading. In the sum class, there are multiple methods are there with same method names. Here, add method name is add, and one more method name add. Method names are same, but their signatures, that their parameters are different. That is nothing but method overloading, and this is done within the same class only, not subclass. Within the same class only we have done this one. Okay, whereas in the method overriding, we have to declare the method name is same and parameters also same, and it should be done base class and subclass. That is nothing but method overriding. The next question is, what is constructor and how many types of constructors in Java? Constructor, it's a special method. It's look like a method, but it's not a method. And class name and method name must be same, but it doesn't return any value. Suppose you can look at this example. This is the constructor example class. In this constructor example class, I have declared here constructor example. So see here, class name and method name both are same. This is nothing but a constructor. Then the following parenthesis, there is nothing I have declared. This is nothing but default constructor. Okay, so if you declare any parameters within this parenthesis, then we can consider those things parameterized constructor. See here, parameterized constructor means a constructor that accepts arguments or parameters is known as parameterized constructor. So the main purpose of constructor is to initialize the instance variable, okay, while creating the object. Okay, see here example. In the A class, we are declared the A in the following arguments or parameters. Okay, this is nothing but a parameterized constructor. If you didn't mention anything, if you didn't pass any values, any arguments, then that is nothing but default constructor. See here, the constructor with no parameters or arguments is known as no parameterized constructor or default constructor. So here is, this is the example for default constructor. Okay. The next question is, can we override a method by using same method name and arguments but different return types? The basic condition of method overriding is that method name, arguments, as well as return type must be exactly same. Okay, remember this point, guys. Method overriding, whenever method overriding concept comes into the picture, that method name, arguments, and a return type exactly same. Okay, so hence using a different return type does not override a method. The next question is, can we call non-static method from inside a static method? This is also one of the confused entry questions for freshers as well as below 3 years of experience Java developers as well as automation testing engineers. Non-static methods are owned by objects of class and have object level scope. And in order to call non-static methods from static block, an object of the class needs to be created first. So then using object reference, these methods can be invoked. Okay. The next question is, what is the differentiate between equals and equal operator? The main difference equal operator and equals method is that equal operator is an operator, while equals is a method in Java. The operator is used for reference or addresses of comparison. That means it checks if both objects or variables are pointing to the same memory location. Whereas equals method compares the content of the two objects or variables. So it checks the value of two objects in the, so it checks if the value of two objects is the same or not. Okay. The next question is, what do you know about interfaces in Java? An interface is a blueprint of a class, which can be declared by using interface keyword. Okay, interface can contain only constants and abstract methods. That means 100% abstract methods only in interface. There is no fully defined methods available in interface. Okay, like abstract classes, interfaces cannot be instantiated. That means you cannot create the object for interface as well. They can only implemented by classes or extended by other interfaces. Okay, so we have to remember some key points whenever we are using interface. So Java does not support multiple inheritance. However, a class can implement more than one interface. That is the main purpose of interface. Interface is similar to an abstract class, but it contains only abstract methods. Interfaces are created by using interface keyword instead of the keyword class. The next entry question is difference between Hashmap and hashtable. Hashmap is not synchronized by making it better for non-threaded application. Hashtable is synchronized and it is suitable for threaded application. Hashmap allows only one null key but any number of null in the values, whereas hash table does not allow null in both keys and pair values. Okay, Hashmap supports order of the insertion by making use of its subclasses linked Hashmap, whereas order of insertion is not guaranteed in hash table. Okay, the next question is, what is the difference between comparable and comparator? Comparable interface is present in java.lang package. That means language package. Comparator interface is present in a util package. Okay. Comparable provides the compare to method to sort the elements in Java. Comparator provides the compare method to sort elements in Java. So the logic of sorting must be in the same class whose object you are going to sort. So the logic of sorting should be in separate class to write different sorting based on the different attributes of object. Comparable provides a single sorting sequence, whereas comparator provides a multiple sorting sequence. Compare to method can sort the data according to the natural sorting order, whereas comparator sorts the data according to the customized sorting order. All wrapper classes and string class implements the comparable interfaces. The only implemented classes of comparators are collator and rule-based collator. The next question is very, very important and frequently asked Java entry questions for freshers as well as experienced candidates. That is a difference between Arraylist and linked list. Arraylists are, their nature is a dynamic array. It automatically grows the size. Okay, whereas a linked list uses a double linked list nature. Okay, Arraylist is not preferable for manipulation, whereas linked list is preferable for manipulation. Arraylist provides the random access, whereas linked list does not provide the random access. Arraylist stores only objects, hence it takes less overhead of memory. Linked list stores the object as well as address object, hence it takes the more overhead of memory. The next entry question is the difference between list and set. List is an ordered collection. It maintains the insertion order, which means upon displaying the list contains, upon displaying the list content, it will display the elements in the same order in which they got inserted into the list. Whereas set is unordered collection. It means it doesn't maintain any order. Okay. List allows duplicates while set does not allow duplicate elements. All the elements of set should be unique. If you are trying to insert duplicate element in set, it would be replace the existing value. List implementations are like array list, linked list, etc. Whereas set implementations are hash set, linked hash set, tree set, etc. List allows any number of null values. Set can have only a single null value at most. Okay. The next entry question is, what is the difference between string and string buffer and string builder? String is immutable. If you try to alter their values, another object gets created. Whereas string buffer and string builder are mutable, so they can change their values. String buffer is thread safe and string builder is not thread safe. So when the application needs to run only a single thread, then it is better to use string buffer. Suppose string where we are using string builder is more efficient than string buffer. The next question is, what is the difference between stream API and collection API in Java 8? This is also one of the most latest Java entry questions. Okay, stream API, collection API. So stream API introduced in Java 8 standard version, and collection API introduced in Java version 1.2. There is no use of iterator and split iterators while using stream API. So with the help of for each, we can use the iterator and the split iterator to iterate the elements and perform action on each item or the element. An infinite number of features can be stored. A countable number of elements can be stored. Consumption and iteration of elements from the stream object can be done only once. Consumption and iteration of elements from the collection object can be done multiple times. It is used to compute the data and it is used to store the data. So these are the most frequently asked core Java entry questions and answers. So if you want this documentation, please comment in the comment box. I will share this entry questions documentation to your mail ID. Okay, if you really feel this video is very helpful, then comment in the comment box, this video is very helpful. Okay, and also share to your friends, and also don't forget to hit the like button. Okay, so we will meet in the next video. Thank you very much.